You know, when it comes to David Cronenberg, I don't know if he's like a genius, if he's a psycho, if he's a sadist, if he's an amazing artist. He just be like that. Crimes of the Future stars Viggo Mortensen, Kristen, Stewart, and Seydoux, and is a futuristic tale of a dystopian universe where essentially humans are now evolving to take part with this technology, all the things that we've created, and it's coming back to haunt us. People are growing new organs, people are having tons of limbs and ears, but now there's a bunch of performance artists, and that's Viggo Mortensen and Seydoux. Essentially, they perform surgery to show these new organs, and because he still feels pain, that's something very special, because a lot of people now in this time don't feel pain anymore. However, there is this shady, very odd person played by Kristen Stewart. She's someone part of a medical group and association that essentially becomes very interested in these people and may take a dark turn. I don't want to spoil this movie to you because I just think this is a movie that's very good. It's very well written, very surreal, and disturbingly familiar, honestly, at times. It's something that is very realistic. It takes itself to a place that I think I've not seen most directors go in a while. If you know anything about these kinds of science fiction movies, they usually tend to be a little bit of a knockoff. Usually it's something you've seen before, but this is something I think seemed very original. I could be wrong. Maybe it's based off of something. If so, I didn't know. When it comes to David Cronenberg, as I kind of suggested and hinted to in the beginning, he's a director where he's just very interesting to me. He's very intriguing, and he makes films like this where it made me think, but it felt very real. I think this film is extremely well made, has such a genius plot to it. It's very well written, a lot of dialogue. This movie, however, went very fast for me. I am aware this movie is close to 2 hours. I believe it is 2 hours, but never once did it feel like it. I watched this movie and went by extremely fast. It was a blur. It was amazing to watch, and it was a very good experience. And I love just the atmosphere he creates in this movie. The tone is very serious, very dark. By the way, this movie's rated R for a reason. This is not a family movie to go see. This is a very adult-oriented film, and it's something that I think if you're a mature audience who really want to see something deep, this is something that is worth checking out. I think this is an unappreciated science fiction film that we're going to have come out this year, and I think it won't be talked about enough. In fact, I'm not hearing a lot of people talking about it right now, despite the fact it has such great concepts, themes, and very interesting characters in it. So let's talk about everyone's performance in this movie. Viggo Mortensen offers an extremely human and very deeply emotional performance in his character's role. It is extremely real and relatable, and I felt for him, and the pain that he feels in this movie is real. Like, it's not, but like, I felt it the entire time. He has so many layers to his character, and he continues to be good. He's been good since he's ever done anything. But this, I think, is one of his more exceptional performances I've seen in a while. Not that he's ever been bad, just this is him really knocking out the ballpark. It was such an amazing, deep, very... I can't even think of the word for it. It was a very emotional and layered performance by an actor who I'm constantly impressed by and was so happy to see doing this. Seydoux in the movie, once again, continues to kill it. I think she took a lot of heat when she did Spectre for a while, but she has since proved herself to be a phenomenal actress. I mean, I can remember when she was just the daughter in Inglourious Basterds and didn't have any lines at all. And here she is now giving a really excellent performance. Her character is very vulnerable, and she's very relatable, and you can see things. She can just make a face in a scene. She's a lot of scenes where she's just sitting there looking, and you can feel the emotions coming out of her, because this movie's based on emotions a lot, and that's something that she expressed very well. Kristen Stewart, oh boy. Okay, you guys know, if you've watched my Oscar nominations video, I was rooting for Kristen Stewart for Best Actress last year. When Kristen Stewart is good, she's good. When she's bad, she is Twilight. That's the only way I can even put it to you guys. Kristen Stewart's performance is so very off in this movie, especially with everyone surrounding her. Even though the production quality of this film looks like it's low and the budget isn't the highest, everyone's giving their best. And hers is just that, it's that Kristen Stewart performance, you know, where she's doing the... So... That's the Kristen Stewart she's doing in this movie. And I don't know why she made that choice, because it's so odd to me, because I just saw her last year be so good. Even in lesser films like Charlie's Angels, I've seen Kristen Stewart be really good, so that was a bit of a disappointment to me. I have to say one thing about this movie. There's some imagery that is... This movie's got some imagery, man, that it'll stick in your brain after you see it, whether that be for better or for worse. But I think that's just something that adds to this film and adds to the character, because this feels like a real world. It feels very much real. You can almost sense what people have gone through. You can almost feel the way people are. However, I will say this film is not flawless, and I'm not going to pretend it is. The script, I think, is a little janky. It could be better. Scenes tend to jump from scene to scene sometimes in a not very smooth transition, I don't believe. I think the script at times is a little, a lot of the dialogue can be very cliche, and there's a lot of exposition dumping. However, aside from that, and some very poor quality at times for production value, I think this movie's very good. The soundtrack, not a big fan of. You guys know I love music, but I felt it was a very repetitive soundtrack that could have been done much better, unless maybe the composer, I feel like, just didn't have enough time to do it. I'm not sure. This movie, though, is a visual masterpiece. It is a well-written film, despite some of its flaws, and I think it's definitely worth people checking out. So I'm going to have to give it a rating, because I'm recommending this film for you to go see. I'm going to give Crimes of the Future a 7 out of 10. Thank you guys as always for watching, and stick around for more videos coming up, and I will see you next time.